right, folks. What is going on? All right. You're probably wondering what the hell is going on. It is earlier than usual. Um, Part of the reason I want to go a little bit earlier tonight is Monday nights have been pretty active with other live streams, and not that I'm worried about what everybody else is doing. I know they'll do good without me being in their way and me in theirs. So part of the reason that I wanted to go live tonight was this is my birthday gift to me. There's something that I want to do tonight, and I figured that if I went a little bit earlier, that I would able to do that. So there's going to be quite a few people that are going to be thrown off this evening, and that is absolutely okay. And I get it. It's yeah. Again, it could be one of those things where everybody's used to me doing it at my same time, but I don't care. This is for me. I do have Mr. Tally. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, for those who are aware, today is World Mental Health Day. And I wanted to mention that in passing of what this show is about today, because partly yesterday, for those who didn't get the opportunity to tell me or didn't know, yesterday was my 48th birthday. So I did finish 48 revolutions around this planet. And yes, today is day number 2 of year number 48. And I know that sounds crazy, but yes, I am 48 years old. And part of the reason that I wanted to talk about the World Mental Health Day, and why it's pretty important. Hold on, let me change my scene here. Because I am talking about on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check out my YouTube channel, head over to the Gabé Experience and subscribe. Thank you so much. And of course, to our LinkedIn family, you guys are always great. Okay, where was I? Okay, World Mental Health Day 2022. And the objective, of course, of World Mental Health Day is to raise awareness of mental health issues around the world and to mobilize efforts in support of mental health. Why is this important? I thought about this yesterday before I even thought about talking about World Mental Health Day today. There are some days that you wake up in life and you don't feel like everything in your life is in balance. You don't feel that everything absolutely makes sense. It's tough. And I was thinking about this yesterday because, of course, as you know, if any of you have been on any kind of social media, when your birthday shows up, these platforms have a very good way of reminding folks that, well, today is your birthday, and lets other people know that it's your birthday as well. And of course, you do get people who take the time to send you birthday well wishes, and those are always welcomed. Those are nice. But for anybody that sent me one yesterday, I just simply replied as that, as a birthday gift, I would hope that you would do a random act of kindness or reach out to somebody as a birthday present. Why? Because I feel there's never enough of that in this world, and partly because I thought about, if it wasn't my birthday yesterday, would any of these people be reaching out to me on the regular? In all honesty, I believe the answer is no. There are few core people that do in your life, right? That you have that will do those sort of things, that will talk to you, that will reach out to you. But it takes a special occasion, like something like your birthday, to hear from certain individuals, even family members sometimes, to reach out to you and just say, happy birthday, or how are you doing, or anything along those lines, to help you, quote unquote, celebrate another year on this planet. But partly because I think that as I was like running through my mind yesterday, like what would I want? Um, because people ask you, what would you want for your birthday? What is something that because that's just how we are. We want to know. And my thing was, I just want to spread a little bit of kindness. Um, I you could ask people to donate. You could ask somebody to open a door. You could ask somebody to help somebody with one small thing. That's all that really mattered. Um, and part of the reason why that I want that to be what people do is because I think we all have the ability to do these random acts of kindness and make them a part of our everyday routines in life. And some people do, right? They take that time, they walk that walk, they do those things that we ask. And much to what you're saying there, Denise, yes. And asking just somebody to do something, like I said, it's just a simple message to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, or reach out to somebody that you haven't sent a message to or you haven't heard from, but you think about them. I got one yesterday. I got one yesterday that was a random message from somebody who was contacting me not because it was my birthday, but because they were sending thanks to somebody. And I want to give her kudos for doing that. Um, I think that message stood out more than any of them. And I got a reply back to her today, um, because I really wanted to let that settle in a little bit. And she's been on the show before. Her name is, well, I don't know. Maybe I should wait until I actually respond back to her. But she reached out to me, um, just to say thank you, which was pretty awesome. Um, there was no rhyme or reason except for reaching out to other people. And I truly believe that that's what is the case. She didn't even mention of my birthday or anything, which I didn't mind at all. Because, like I said, as I was thinking about it and reflecting upon it, um, part of me was sort of glad that she did. Because what if I'd been in a moment and I really needed to hear something like that, right? Other than apart from it being my birthday, again, how many people do that on the regulars, reach out to somebody? I did that today to a few people as a reminder to myself that if I want to ask people to do it, then I need to do it myself and reach out to somebody. So that's going to be a part of a regular practice. It's just picking a few random people, sending them a message, asking if they are okay, asking how life is going, and just genuinely giving a fuck. Because we as people wake up every day with the capacity to do this, and yet we're always too busy. Life dictates that we're too busy to do things like this, and I don't want to go forth doing that. I got lucky that I got a few special people in my life who reach out to me all the time, and I am truly grateful for those individuals, because without them, life is tough. It's tough sledding for anybody on their own. And to have, friends in your life that really care how you're doing and always worry about how things are happening in your life, it's good to have those people. So, and some of us don't have that sometimes. We don't have those individuals. We don't always get lucky to have somebody who's a 22-year-long friend and get to spend so many years getting to know you. It is sometimes later in life that things have to change and we find new people. And, sometimes we do grow. We grow apart from our friends that we have in our youth sometimes because our capacity to change and maybe theirs isn't the same. Who knows? But partly, we do have the ability to take a few minutes. I mean, literally, it took me 15, 20 minutes. I mean, that's 15, 20 minutes that can change somebody's life, with a simple message. So today, I just ask anybody who watches and tunes in later, take a few minutes. That's, again, if you're watching and you want to congratulate me on a birthday or whatever, take that time to go reach out to somebody else. My birthday was awesome. Take those few minutes that you would write me a note and send it to somebody else. Reach out to them. Make whatever effort you can to make their day. I'm blessed beyond belief because I get to do this every night. So every night I get somebody that gets to tell me these sort of things. And even though I do have my days where it is tough to get through certain aspects, sometimes it's having the right conversation with somebody in a live stream that helps me get through that. Or, it's something that somebody shares with me in the stream that kind of helps uplifts me. So I have that ability to do this every night with an audience. And it's pretty amazing that people do this, that people take the time to show up here night in, night out. Now tonight's going to be a little bit different because they'll probably tune in at 7:15 and they'll go, what the hell's going on? Gabe's not there. Tonight is a self-care night for me. Like I said, there was something that I wanted to do for me. And as a birthday gift to me, I was going to do it tonight. So yeah, you people it's going to weird them out. And this week's going to be weird for a lot of folks because I think I only have one guest lined up for the week. Because I am going to have a speaking engagement this week. We'll be down in Houston this weekend. And a lot of my time this week will be toning up and getting a really good idea of my speech. It's going to be 20 minutes is what I get to talk about. And I want to make it the best 20 minutes that I possibly can. So that's what my week is spent doing. And of course, getting everything ready to go with me because I will be streaming while I'm down there. So just checking off all the boxes and making sure everything is in alignment. So yes, Denise, I will actually reach out to a few of you guys down there in the Houston area who might want to hook up. I'll be down there Friday, Saturday, and then I'm leaving back Sunday. So that's what I have on my itinerary this week. So I didn't want to take on too much. So I will be doing a few solo shows. I will have one guest Friday. I don't know exactly how that's going to work out because I will be down in Houston. And if I have a few people around, we might just be streaming live as a group in a live in-person session. So lots of exciting things going forward. But the main idea why I wanted to just talk about, mention what's going on in this world and how everything has sort of been, really wonderful is the fact that, hello, Scott, how are you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. As you know, that it's tough on people sometimes, and still talking about mental health, and it has come more to the forefront because of the pandemic and how people really had to look at themselves, spending a lot of time with themselves because of the pandemic and not being able to reach out to people. And then, and that was the whole idea behind wanting to, um, the whole idea of wanting to create an opportunity like this and make it for everybody around the world, because everybody suffered during the pandemic when it happened, so there were people um, that life was very tough, and it's still tough recovering. I mean, once you get to that point of really understanding how you might be suffering, um, or you might be dealing, I don't want to always just say suffering, but yes, um, life isn't easy already as it is sometimes. So compound it with, understanding that you are struggling. Um, that's okay, man. It's okay. And that's the thing about why I say take a few minutes, reach out to somebody. Like, I have somebody in mind that I want to reach out to. I went looking for this individual this morning on LinkedIn and haven't seen anything from him or heard anything from him. And he's a wonderful man. Um, Bless him, man. He is pretty amazing, and I haven't heard from him. So I'm going to reach out to him after I get off the show tonight. Because I just want to check in and see how he's doing, man. Because he, believe it or not, he was pretty influential in me getting started here on this platform. And I really care about this individual. His life and the things that he shared were pretty eye-opening and really gave me a perspective on a lot of things. And I'm grateful for people like that who have come into my life. And I don't want to not take that time to at least see how he's doing. And everything could be well. Who knows? But that's the whole point behind doing it and asking. And really just asking, like, man, how are you, man? How's life been treating you? Has things have, I really want to know, how are you doing? I mean, most of the times when we ask that question, because I've been asked, we don't feel safe or vulnerable enough to actually open up about it. I mean, how many times have you asked and has somebody asked you, how are you doing? And you just really released to a complete stranger sometimes, or even somebody that you might have had a few interactions with in the past, but you've never opened up like that. Why don't we? What stands in that way for us? What keeps us from just saying, you know what, I'm not doing good today, man. Life is hard. Bills are piling up, or things aren't going good at work, or my relationship's in trouble, or whatever it is that that is literally causing you that idea of anguish. We always hold back. We always don't want to let that part be known because we feel embarrassed of what? Judgment? Do we feel like we're giving somebody a burden? Well, honestly, that's the point. That's the point in asking. That's why I asked somebody to spend those few minutes and really take the time to ask, because you could be the difference. You literally could be the difference in how the rest of their day goes, how the rest of their life goes, how a lot of things go. Your mind can always go to those sort of dark places. You just don't know until you're in those situations. And sometimes it's right place, right time that you can help intervene in somebody when they're in those positions, when they're in those moments. So, that is why I am thankful for my forum here, that I get to do this every night. And I'm thankful for the individuals who remind me night in, night out. And it is difficult at times, because even with me having as many people's around, sometimes even I hold back, right? This is a show called Unfiltered Live, and yet sometimes I do filter. It's tough to really open up like about things that are going, not swimmingly well in your life. Um, and, I've always thought about these sort of things that I think sometimes I've felt a little bit more open in the past to share this. And lately, I don't know why, but I have been feeling reservations to share things. Like right now, I am anxious as hell right now because I am worried about this weekend. I've never done an in-person speaking event. I don't know how I'm going to do. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I am scared. I am fearful. I am all those things right now. Because I'm going to go tackle something I've been trying to take down since fourth grade, man. Um, you know, that is still a hard push to get past. Sometimes things stick in your mind mentally, and it's very difficult to move past them. Even though I've been here and I've done this, where I am in front of a camera and sharing these things, and I've done this so many times, and people say it should be nice and easy for you, man. It'll be nice transition. But yet when you're standing there in that moment, that is what worries me, is all those eyes. Like right now, I can mentally move past this because, hello, Helen. I'm sorry. Tuning in from Australia. How are you doing? Hope you've had a wonderful day. But part of me is just sort of, again, nervous about getting up there and saying, saying, that's why I've like this week. I don't feel like I don't feel like I would be 100% on point if I had a lot of guests on this week, doing what I usually do, because I have I feel more. I'm gonna be in front of people for 20 minutes talking about something I know that I could talk about. That's not gonna be an issue. It's just like getting it memorized how I want to communicate it. But I have another virtual conference the following week. I feel more comfortable with that because that is my element, right? I'm gonna have to talk for an hour doing that, and I know I can talk an hour for doing that and talking about the content matter that I'm gonna be talking about. I feel more comfortable with that, and there probably might be 100 people watching, 200 people watching that. I don't know, but I feel more comfortable because I'm here in front of the camera, and my mind justifies it pretty easily. Is that you're just talking into a camera, Gabe? You're good. Where seeing those eyes and getting the kinetic, so that's going to be a real big work pass for me, is like how to move forward with that. And that is why, like, this week it's been sort of just crazy. And it's like I said, yesterday was my birthday, and I again had so many people reach out, and I had so many people just sending out birthday wishes, and it was great. Like I said, most of them I replied back to, as many of those as I possibly could. And that's what I asked people. It's like, hey, just pay it forward. Share a random act of kindness with somebody. Just reach out to somebody and, You know, make sure they're good. That's all I want for my birthday. I don't need anything else. So I think getting on that stage and conquering that monster will be huge for me. Could be earth shattering, could be life changing, could be nothing. I don't know. That is the part for me. Is like this is why like I push sometimes like books that I've like put out and written out and have like manuscripted one and one and a half, 2 books here, and I haven't put them out there yet. The fear of getting past that, right? That is like huge, huge. And I talk about like getting past your fears of being on camera and sharing these things, and yet there are things that keep me withholding all that I can share. Um, so yeah, it is. It is something that again that I am looking forward to. Um, and it is something that I'm gonna push myself to do to challenge. Um, because if I'm gonna be wanting to do this on a bigger scale and in in more places, then this has got to be the first step for me. So yeah, like I said, I am freaking nervous as hell. Um, and I'm I again, even me, somebody who's done this plenty of times, is getting a loss at words, and um that's the thing about it. It's like my mind is like pushing me on overdrive right now, going, okay, get it down, practice through G, you got this, go over it, go over it, go over it. So, uh, that's what I'll be spending most of my time pretty much doing this next week until Friday when I leave to go down to Houston. And then once I'm down there, it is just countdown until we're there. For those who want to know what I'm talking about or where I'm going to be at, I will be down in Houston, Texas this weekend, down at the Leal Student Center at Rice University. We will be. My friend Andrea Sanchez has her. This is a part of her dream as well. Um, she's created these rallies that she's been doing since 2020. They're called it is the Worthy Rally for Kindness and Hope. And the whole idea behind it was to get people to come together during the pandemic and share their stories and their journeys to spread kindness, inspiration, give people hope, how to get through some of these situations. And I was one of the very first ones to speak at her first rally, and me and her have been friends ever since. Um, and was honored when she asked me to, because I was like, you know what, I have to start doing this. I have to get out there. Um, so I gleefully accepted and was just waiting for the opportunity. And whenever everything lined up, she was like, okay, we're going to do this. This is when it's going to happen. I was like, okay. It worked out perfectly because it was on a weekend where I don't have my kids with me. So I'll be able to actually head down there and not have to worry about finding arrangements for that. And then just getting myself aligned in a in a good mindset. That's all. So yeah, if I seem a little at a point you feel comfortable not showing your pain, I don't mind sharing those things. As a matter of fact, I really don't mind sharing a lot of emotion here on camera or in front of people. I think, like I said, it's a mental thing. Like you talk about traumas and how they extend and they sit subconsciously the back of your mind. That has been one of them. Um, and I think the first time that I've ever really first time ever really pushed myself to go a little bit beyond that was when I was an operations manager at a company, and we used to have to give our weekly management speaking um, our manager talks every week, uh, and I would do this in front of like 30 or 40 people. I think we had 30, 40 employees at the time, um, which I didn't mind doing so much. But the thing is, I knew most of those people, right? I had worked alongside of them. I knew who most of them were, and most of them knew me as their immediate supervisor. So there was kind of a relationship there where they were wanting to have to pay attention and not worried so much about the judgmental part of whatever you were sharing. So I feel it'll be something similar, but with all these strangers. So I don't know. We'll see. Believe me, I will report back Monday evening. Kind of let everybody know how the weekend went. And, just getting that under my belt and then see if it does, where it comes from in there. And I did and I didn't. Part of me is where I did come from a good environment early on. My parents had divorced by the time I was 13, no, 12. Yeah. Um, and then, I've shared this story before on the air. Then, time I was 14, my mother she left me and my siblings, and my father cared for us until, his passing. So, I at my age of adolescence, it was kind of hard because I didn't have my mother around. So, and then my father was there with us to raise me plus my five other siblings, and then on top of that, he had to work to support us, and that was hard. So, things didn't change or didn't really come into focus till about 2 years later. By that time, um, he'd married my stepmother, and they were married until he passed back in 2013. Um, so yeah, like I said, my early formative years, that was part of it. But the whole idea of never wanting the whole idea of why I have a thing about speaking on stage is, again, I've shared this. I was in the fourth grade. Um, we were doing a Cinco de Mayo thing. I think it was a play. Yeah, we were talking about this, and of course, I was at that point probably one of the only Latino kids in the school, and of course, I got chosen to play uh, General Santa Anna, the Mexican Army, and we were celebrating Texas's independence, I believe it was. So we put on a play. Um, we're supposed to be to the Army at the Battle of the Alamo, and I had really just one line, folks, and I couldn't spit it out. Could not spit it out. I mean, I was looking in the audience, and there was all the parents watching and people, and just froze. And I remember the teacher from over off on the side behind the curtain, trying to wave me to say something, and then finally I just couldn't say it, and she just waved everybody to come on, and everything just went on like it was, and it was hard. I was actually relieved more that we did a dance thing afterwards, um, where I felt more comfortable doing that than I did actually speaking, and that was it for me. And I was like, man, after that, I was like, never again. And it stuck with me, and it stayed with me for a while. And even being able to like talk here and do this sort of thing like I'm doing how with the live stream, it took me a while to build up that sort of confidence. So it wasn't easy. Trust me. It was pretty hard to get to this point where like I can feel comfortable talking to a camera now. And like, it ain't nothing now, but it is, again, working past that little piece of whatever that is back there in the back of your mind. And it does, I'm not gonna lie, it sits there. Yeah, it does. Um, so part of part of me has known about this. I did an episode with the I was in season 1, I think, with a really great woman by the name of Katie Nall. And this was my first like introduction to what EFT was, tapping is. And we actually did this on a live stream, and again, like I said, it took me to that moment, and I remember exclaiming it to her what what my big holdup was. And we did a tapping session on live, and it really like opened up my mind a lot. And I was like, wow, it was cool, but it scared the shit out of me. Not gonna lie, because like I felt, um, I felt like there was nothing keeping me from my mind in that moment, like really being subconsciously just being there. Like like I said, it was tough for those few minutes. I think it was like 4 or 5 minutes, I believe. I felt like I don't even know what I was saying in those moments. I can go back and go watch the tape. There's a moment where it just happens, and she talks to me about how I felt. And I had to go back and watch this. Like how I felt. I said I feel light, like light, like almost like in flight. I felt different, and then we continued to talk, and boo. um, it was awesome. But like I said, it was kind of scary because it felt like you weren't there for a minute, and I wasn't. And then when I got done with the show, I like wrote for like 45 minutes straight, like all my thoughts and everything was coming out and all the good stuff that was just pouring out in those moments. And um, I don't know, I sort of enjoyed it, and it was kind of weirded out by it, but that's an actual thing that can happen, and that your mind can be, like it says, tapped into. So that was a cool episode. So yeah, not to just pub it, but if you go to my YouTube page, and season 1 is on there. I don't exactly remember the episode. I gotta go back and think. I've done so many. I should memorize that one though. And it was cool. And it was again something that I again know that there's a whole nother level of how our minds work, and that kind of taught me. So again, the whole point of like where I started this whole conversation is that you know be mindful that our minds, like what I'm talking about now, good or bad, can take us in places where we may or may not want to go. And that is where sometimes we struggle with mental health. So since today is World Mental Health Day, the day's still not over in some places. In others, it's already the next day, but it doesn't mean you still can't just take the day to go reach out, send a message to somebody, ask them how they're doing, check in on their lives, and just, be there, somebody with just honest concern. I think that's all it takes. And if they're good, man, way to go. Life's awesome. But also be there in case it's not. You know, don't make this like, oh, I just reached out to reach out, man. I really don't have time for all this or whatever. Um, because then I think you're just making things worse by doing that. Just if you're gonna do it with a real honest intention behind it, and um, make sure that when you do this, um, do it from a place of, like I said, of love and caring, man. We don't get enough of that some days, and this world is a better place when we do. So, all right. There we go, folks. That is all that I'm going to talk about for today. Um, I'm going to end the show a little earlier than what I usually do because today, again, is my personal individual birthday present to me is a little fun self-care thing that I wanted to do today. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening's conversation. I will be back tomorrow evening at our regular scheduled time, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, 7:15 Central. Um, so until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe, be well, and just show a little love and compassion to those around you, man. We all can use it. It's a better place when we do. So, you guys have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you again soon. So, until then, good night, everybody.